Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 14, After Show.
Listen here, I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. This after show is going to be a little special because, as y'all know, I did the actual episode by myself with Blair Bear. So we do not really know what Blair thinks or thought about this past episode. So as we go over this after show, we are going to get your opinion, Blair.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
So what is the first point that basically went through this after show?
Questionable donations.
Questionable donations. In the episode, we saw that Shamea was being passive aggressive with the whole somebody gave 3 paper towels and tissues, but they able to roll up in here in a Birkin and a Bentley and a Rolls Royce and things of that nature. What is your thoughts on that, Blair?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we had a huge discussion about this. All right. So when it comes to the donations, First, let me say what Shamea said during the after show.
Okay.
So Brit came in, with her, paper towel rolls and lied and said that someone was going to come with more things. And then she said that actually, I don't think they're going to be able to make it in time. Shamea says, well, just bring whatever you have in your truck and I can unload it for you. And Brit says, actually, this is all I have.
What?
Shamea tells her, okay, well, do you want to give a cash donation? And that's how Brit ended up sending her $250 for the donation.
Yeah.
So I think that blanket statement, you should give whatever your heart desires.
Okay.
And whatever your pockets are willing or allows you to do. So I think that that's the number one statement.
Okay.
But I think that when you are kind of lying about what you plan to give or your intentions of what you want to give, and then someone has to kind of prompt you to give a little bit more, to me that sounds like it's not so much that you can't give it other than you're not really wanting to give, being a little bit stingy, so to speak. And I think that with Brit and the way that she's coming across on the show when it comes to her own events as well, everything just seems thrown together last minute. It's like she doesn't think anything out.
Yeah.
I think that she got the information about the donations and she just said, okay, the day of, let me go over there to shoot a scene when everyone else took it seriously as we are donating to Haiti after this hurricane they had. So I think like Brit is in TV world, and even though everyone takes it seriously about these donations, I feel like she just felt like this was for a scene for a show.
Yeah. And we would donate to Grenada.
Oh, Grenada. I'm sorry.
Not Haiti. But if you want to give to Haiti, listen, you're open to it.
Sorry about that, yeah.
Now, this is layered in so many ways because even when Shamea being passive-aggressive about it, and we are going to talk about that, I think we need to make a blanket statement off top is that, hey, Brit, you was wrong. Let's just stop right there. Hard stop, right?
Yeah.
Because truth be told, when Drew gave the waters and things like that, that was literally the click of a button.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go online myself and I'm going to purchase these cases of water for Grenada to donate, right? Some would say, oh, okay, at least you did that. Brit did even less than that.
Yeah.
So, like, that just even shows, that she actually put no effort. I actually think what sounded it off and what made it look all the way bad was the fact that you brought like 3 paper towels.
And the thing is too, which we talked about, is if she would have bought like $250 worth
of paper towels
or first aid kits, like that would have actually had a greater impact.
Yeah.
Because our conversation turned to, because we know Phaedra said with this group it's $1,000 minimum.
Yeah.
And Portia said that she gave $1,000, and we know that in the Housewives world, they're supposed to have all this money and be so wealthy. So bare minimum, I mean, you're giving, $1,000.
Yeah.
But I think that when it comes to Brit, I don't necessarily believe that she's at their level when it comes to financial stability and wealth. And so I wouldn't put it on to her to give $1,000, but you are on the show and you're making it seem as though you are part of this lifestyle.
Yeah.
And if you are, then you need to give like the big dogs give,
100%.
And that's what makes it look even crazier, because all these people are so well to do and you can't even give a fraction of what they're able to give.
100%. And I do want to say that even though I am not a fan of Phaedra at all. I think she's overrated when it comes to being a housewife. When she was on Married to Medicine, we also reviewed that show. Phaedra cut a check.
Yeah.
For I think for over like $20,000 and things like that for the event that for like the charity event that they had on that show,
the Met Gala.
Yeah. So like the whole idea of $1,000 minimum, I think that's a good rule to go by. I'm not saying that should be like the limit that you should give, but I do think there is something to, hey, you are part of this group, and as you are part of this group, you have to give a minimum amount to be part of the group. I'm not talking about so much of when it comes to donations, we should put a number on it. But I think when it's so specific as you are part of this group, the whole point of this show is to show basically the rich lifestyle of these women, right? Of these people. I think it is just a bad look to give less than $1,000. Some people nails cost $300. Some people go to the hairdresser and get things done for $500. So the whole idea to give less than $1,000 is what's the word? Cheap.
Yeah.
Right. So off top, Brit, you was 100% wrong for not only bringing 3 paper towels that you grabbed from your house, right? Then lying about more is coming. That's 100% wrong. Number 2. Shamea, you are wrong for being passive aggressive about the whole Brit giving 3 paper towels.
I don't know why she didn't just confront the girl about it there.
And this is why you will never be that girl. I know her tagline in the beginning saying she always been that girl. If you're passive aggressive and you're tiptoeing to go head to head with Brit, you're not that girl. You it's impossible for people to respect you if you over here basically hopscotching across an issue that you already confronted Brit about. I don't even have a problem with Shamea confronting Brit about it, because guess what? She confronted her. She made it seem like, you know what, this is a bad thing that you are doing. I'm coming to you as a friend. But then at the same time, you gonna be passive aggressive on the trip, and then when Brit actually catches you with the shade, you're like, oh, if I was shading you, you would know and you would feel it. I'm like, why are you like scared?
Yeah.
Like the facts is she brought 3 paper towels and that's what it is.
Right.
So the whole idea of, no, you need to be a cheerful giver. I do not like when people bring God into things. But my whole thing is when Shamea starts doing that passive aggressive stuff, it does give all bark, no bite.
Yeah. Then we do, just shifting into Shamea, she talks about the news that she got about her daughter on the trip.
Yeah.
And how she tries to remain a positive person, but she is going through a lot when it comes to her child's health. And she talks about how great it was to have the support of the ladies there for them to really gather around her. And she felt better because of their support.
Yeah. And me and Blair had some private conversations about this scene. And I'm only going to give just little, like a 2% of how I really feel about this scene.
Okay, because it was a long conversation.
no, because I don't want to disrespect nobody.
Okay.
But at the same time, I just want to throw an idea out there.
Yes.
Right? I feel like Shamea, if you go, I'm using all the pieces of the puzzle of what we got this season. One of the delays, if you remember, of Shamea being on the show was what, Blair?
Her husband didn't want to be involved.
Filming with Gerald, exactly, right? So that kind of gives me the illusion that, oh, okay, Gerald's not going to be a willing participant. So that kind of handicaps you in the way of showing your life, showing how you can be a peach holder and things like that. But eventually you made it on the show. We saw your husband in the first episode on your birthday party, right? Now when you get the call, we fast forward to this episode to where your child is sick. He's basically saying that Shamea needs to call somebody and find somebody else at the agency because we got to get rid of this night nurse because of how they basically mishandling their child and things like that. Then he says this. This is the sentence that I really do not understand. He says that if the cough get worse or if her condition get worse, I'm paraphrasing, he will take her to the hospital tomorrow.
Yes.
That word tomorrow is very interesting to me because I am not a fan, and I'm just alluding, this is just my opinion, I'm not a fan of fathers babysitting their children. Right? You are an equal participant. You should have all the equal resources and things of that nature to take care of your child, not babysitting your child. So there's something to, okay, if the situation is not so dire to where you're going to the hospital right now, then like, why does it seem like you're telling me something that I can't do, or basically you're basically giving me information for me to do what with it, right? For me to feel guilt, for me to feel some type of way. And I do feel like Shamea crying and breaking down, I do feel like that was layered. I don't think it's only about the child being sick, right? I think that plays a big part. But mommy guilt comes from a lot of like, you know what? I need to be around. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. And the pressure to do it. You get what I'm saying? Especially if your role in the house is to be the basically the housewife, and I'm here basically supporting the house. So there is a burden on the mom that, hey, I know where everything goes. I know how the house operates. And when I'm not there, when I'm working myself, the house falls apart. So there is a feeling of, oh man, maybe I shouldn't be doing this because I don't have to be on Housewives. It's not like she needs a check for this. So this is actually a passion project of Shamea's to be on the show. So I did think it was very strange for the husband to say that if the condition gets worse, I'm taking the child to the hospital. I would say just take him to the hospital now, because if they're with the doctor, that's the safest place that the child can be. Right. But the whole idea of basically giving Shamea information that she can't do nothing with, it did raise my eyebrow.
Yeah. And for me, because I want to be totally clear, I agree that a husband needs to be an equal participant and be able to make executive decisions when it comes to the child. I do want to add that he did ask her to call the agency to try to get a different nurse to come, I guess, because she wasn't going to be, back in town immediately. So he needed a different nurse to come watch the baby the next night.
Yeah.
So he was giving her a task as well.
While I'm not in the country.
Right. And although I agree with you that he should be able to make some decisions when it comes to his household and so that everything can run smoothly even if she's not there, I think that the reality of the situation is that people have different dynamics in their relationships and how they parent. And I believe that in his case, she has said that he's an involved father, so I don't want to switch up anything that she said. He's an involved father. We saw him at the doctor's appointment, all this different type of stuff. But I think that sometimes number one, I think a lot of women would want to know play by play of what's going on with their child, even if they're not there. Don't tell me once I get home that you went to the hospital and then this happened and then that happened. Like, why didn't you tell me? That's something, we're in this together. I would want to know. And I also think it's a matter of the fact that if he's not used to being in charge of the staff, knowing the agency's phone number, who she's comfortable or who she knows about when it comes to which nurses that she would feel comfortable watching her child or their child, she might just have a bit more information and he's relying on her expertise in order for them to have the situation handled. But I agree with you. He should be able to do all those things without a hitch. But in reality, and a lot of dynamics, it is in the fact that she's a housewife. She's the one who has the most information on the matter. So he's going to default to her. Yeah. And I use the example that some women don't know much about their home when it comes to things breaking down, who to call, who do we have as our warranty people, all these different types of things. And even Dr. Wendy, if y'all watch Potomac, she was like, I don't even know where to send a bill if I had to send a bill. And the thing is, you're a homeowner, you're an equal partner in the finances in your relationship. So those are things that you should definitely be aware of and know how to do and how to access. But the reality is, if it's the other person's strong suit and this is what their responsibility is, they're going to be the ones to have all the information who you default to. So
we had this conversation, and when you said that example, I didn't agree with it, and I don't agree with it even more now.
I know, it's person to a building. I get it.
Because for one, you're not you talk about lean on your expertise. What is your expertise, Mom?
It's your level of involvement.
No. Stop it. Because you are not going. See, look, I'm not
saying it's right, y'all. I'm saying
I'm about to get twisted.
It happens.
Right? Leaning on your expertise as mom, right? As if I'm not dad, right? Is wild to me. Right? Okay. It makes no sense to me because you can get to know. I understand that a lot of people do not know about their bills. A lot of bills is on auto pay. All of my bills is on auto pay. Most of them, right? Majority of them. So things won't get out of whack As in, it's not a person. It's not layered. It's not complex, right?
Yeah.
There's no emotional ties to my bill. You know what I mean? But when it comes to a person, there is something to, I don't know what to do. Let's say he doesn't know what to do because he does work a lot, right? I don't know what to do. So what should I do? I should take my kid to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because guess what? There was a time when you was a mother and you didn't know what to do. And what did you do? You took your child to the hospital. So that's why I'm not falling for the what do I call it? When they call it what have I been saying? They are weaponizing their incompetence. Yes. Right? You are still bad at taboo.
No, you didn't even give me a second. I had incompetence in my head. I was working on getting it out.
Why did you say it then?
Because I was trying to figure out the weaponized part.
They don't weaponize incompetence, right? And my thing is, I understand there's people who understand their role, and this is my role. I handle the house, you handle the child. But if that's the case, do not come to me and say you want more children, because I'm going to say, hey, get to know this child. Okay. Okay? We're not adding more to the Brady Bunch because you barely know anything about this child. About this child. You don't know their doctor. You don't know what school they go to. You don't know their friends. Get to know this child first before I lay on my back.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And also, another thing, too, I just want to add this. I have no problem with relaying information while it's happening. I am not saying that he should wait till she come home and say, "Whoo, guess what happened while you was gone?" No. There's a way to do things. He can relay information while still being a place of comfort for her. So he could easily just say, "Hey, just let you know, Shiloh got this cough and things of that nature." First of all, I don't feel like because he started off talking about the nurse, right? I don't feel comfortable with this nurse. The nurse has been mishandling Shiloh, so I fired Shiloh, but we go get a new nurse as soon as possible. And also, Shiloh got this cough. It sounds kind of weird, so I'm gonna take him to the hospital, and I'm gonna keep you updated. Like that. That sounds very different than, like, you know, the nurse didn't do this. This didn't happen. This didn't do this. Got a cough, and if it sounds even worse tomorrow, we going to the doctor. You basically inform them. You inform them while reassuring them that, hey, I got it all handled. Okay. That's all I'm saying. I'm not putting no blame on Gerald. It may have sounded that way, but Blair got me on hot just a little bit, you know? What's the next point?
All right. The next point is the fact that Charles doesn't wear his ring.
Me neither. I don't wear my ring inside the house. Now, here's the thing
but that's not what they're talking about.
But here's the thing about it, right?
Okay.
I think Angela, and I'm about to be left field with this, I think Angela major the minor things. And I need to know, okay, he doesn't wear his ring. He's not compassionate. He's not all these things. What are the reasons you like Charleston? Because you're in therapy. She said that she brought it up to the therapist that it makes her feel some type of way that he doesn't wear the ring. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he don't give no darn about what the therapist think because he don't wear the ring still.
Well, in the after show, she did say that he treats her well, and she did go through the list of things that she does like about Charles.
When does he treat you well when every time we see him, he's not treating you basically normal? Mm-hmm. He basically seems like he's tired of you. So that's why I'm like, okay, what's the point of you saying if overall that he treats you well and he's compassionate and he's all these things of why you're with him, why even bring up the fact that he don't wear his wedding ring? It's almost as if, like, if my thing is, if there's more good things about Charles than bad things, why are you majoring in the bad things?
Well, the thing is, these women come on to these reality shows and we want them to be transparent about the real of their relationships and their life. Okay. So I'm not going to ask why she's bringing up issues or spats or things in their relationship. Mm-hmm. When we had a whole situation with Juan and Robin where Juan was in hotel rooms and we didn't even hear nothing about that from Robin until after the show. So my thing is, like, I'm not going to get on her for discussing things that have happened within her relationship. These are things that, as a nosy viewer, I want to be privy to, you know? So I don't think that she's like creating like a mountain out of a molehill type of situation. I think she's being transparent about the ups and downs of their relationship.
And maybe my point wasn't clear. My point is, I think she's lying about her relationship. in everything, right?
Okay.
With the whole idea of, you know what, Charles is this, Charles is mad because he wants sex on anniversary and he can't get it. I think Angela do a lot of sleight of hand when it comes to her personal life, as we see it. She can't even say her sister's name on TV. She the whole relationship with her daughter as her best friend, who didn't know that, she sure didn't know that her daughter got married. Her relationship with Charles, secret baby, no secret baby. I think everything that we are learning about Charles that come out of Angela's mouth is not true. I think there is a...
So you think he wears his ring?
No, it's not about the ring.
Okay.
I think the ring could be true, but the whole idea of, hey, you know what, he treats me great. He's really an affectionate guy. He cares about me. I think all of that, you got to take that with a grain of salt. I think the ring thing was, as Portia would say, Tourette, or maybe Tourette's, to where like it just came out because it was a topic of conversation, and that really bothers her. But my whole thing is, there's no way, in my opinion, that you could be all these great things, and there's this thing that bothers your wife, and it's as easy as putting a ring on. Literally, it's as easy as that. But it just seems like he's stubborn, he's hard-headed, and he's just going to do whatever he wants to do. So now I have to ask Angela, who is the real Charles? Because you're telling me that he's caring and loving. We are past episode 13, and I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So like, my thing is, I think there's a lot of things. Truth be told, hopefully this show don't break up their like relationship.
I guess for me, I'm fine with however she wants to present her relationship. I mean, I really don't care if she wants to tell us that Charles treats her great and all we do is be nonchalant. If that is how you get through being married to Charles, then that I really have no opinion on that, to be honest. But when it comes to seeing how Charles like treats her throughout the scenes, it's hard for me to decipher what is truly an issue, so to speak, because I think part of it could be the fact that he might not really want to be on camera. Like, he might not really want to be as affectionate on camera the way that Angela does, and is trying to play up their relationship a little bit more.
I don't think I don't think he's affectionate at all.
And he may not be affectionate at all in life, period. And that might be some of the struggles within their relationship, and she wants just to have some reassurance. But I mean, like you said, she kind of gives us tidbits of information. We see a little bit, and then we have to try to piece and puzzle piece
exactly.
Angela's life together. And at this point, it doesn't bother me that much.
At this point.
But I do want to speak on the topic of him wearing his ring. I think he should wear his ring outside the home.
He's not going to wear it.
Okay. But I mean, this is the topic.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think he should, especially if she's voiced that it's important to her. And the fact that she wants it to be known that he is married. With his ego or whatever it might be, he says, everybody knows I'm married. All these women said they didn't even know Charles was married. So I think that that's a small gesture that you can do for your partner, so that way they feel appreciated, And I feel like he is kind of a stubborn and grumpy man, and you're not gonna tell me to do nothing. I'm a grown man.
No, I guess what, I'm not even gonna make up with your mom. Like that's why I'm like, everything that Angela says is sleight of hand when it comes to her life and Charles and things like that. The whole, like, you know what, Charles got thrown out of Madison Square Garden, and that was a rough time for him, so that's why he cheated on me and things like that. Like, that even, it don't even correlate. It doesn't even match, right?
Yeah, she left out the cheating part. And I'm just like, there's more to the story, and then it finally came out.
So that's why I'm like, I understand that, hey, you may feel like the ring is an issue, but now I'm starting to think, like, what's real and what's really real in your relationship? Is the ring really a major thing in your marriage, or is this just something that you're giving us to put together the piece? So that's why when it comes to Angela's personal life, I kind of gotta investigate more than just taking things with just taking it as face value. Me, I don't like jewelry, so I don't wear jewelry in the house. But when I do step out the house, I do put on a ring. And that's really the reality of it. Is that simple. All she's asking is for him just to wear it outside the house. Yeah. So you can't tell me that this guy is really affectionate and caring, and he can't, when he's out the house, wear a ring. Like it just doesn't match. He may show it in other ways, in the sense of he may cook for your children. He may clean and things like that. His love language may be acts of service, but don't try to tell me that like he's a caring and loving man. In my opinion, I think it benefits you to be with Charles because Charles got the money. You are in debt. He helps you with your investment with your houses, and it just is what it is.
And that's all we got.
That's all the points. Now listen here, Blair, I need to know your opinion. We did not talk about it. I wanted to talk about it last episode, but I was like, I'm gonna wait to get your opinion. What is your thoughts on the seating chart that is the reunion that like we seen?
Let me pull it up.
Okay.
I can say I think it's a shame that Drew is darn near sitting on the
Thank
floor.
you. That's all I needed, right? Listen, I can justify, even though I don't agree with it, with Portia being first chair on one end and Shamea being on first chair on the other end. Because in real life, they're not friends, and we want to get down to what happened.
Because I'm like, shoot, like you put Kelly before Drew?
But exactly. That I do not understand. I don't understand why Drew is standing next to the camera guy when it comes down to the seating chart. Yeah.
See, I would have liked to have Angela as first chair, but I can respect the fact that they want Portia and Shamea because they want a Portia versus Shamea,
of course,
type of show. So I can see that happening. Yeah, Angela second chair. I'm gonna have to live with that. Phaedra, she's a OG. I think they want to give her respect for coming back to the show. So I think that's why they placed her second chair next to Portia. And it's frickin' frack again. So I think there's a lot of things that they're trying to do with sitting Phaedra next to Portia. I get it. Don't love it, but I get it. Cynthia, I don't know if she's going to be sitting down the whole show. She's a friend of the show, so maybe she's just going to pop in.
She probably will be there for the whole show because Brit's not there.
Oh, yeah. But that's kind of wild to me because I'm just like, y'all should have switched Drew and Cynthia. At least let Drew, be third chair, even if she is the last one sitting over there.
Yeah.
And everything else, I mean, like I said, I don't see why Kelly is before Drew. And Brit not being there
is wild.
It's whack. It's just really whack because she had a lot to say and a lot that she's done during the season. And I think that if she wanted to come and explain herself and really have a platform to, really work through some issues that she could have, but the way that it seems and how her conflict resolution, because the thing is these shows are about drama, but it's also about conflict resolution.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like she has much conflict resolution skills. It seems she got conflict skills. So next person. And so it would have been nice to see if we could have seen a different side of her. And but it's just not going to happen. And then I heard she's suing the network. So this is a lot.
Here's the thing.
But like I said, I knew she was one and done.
Right.
I knew it.
Here's the thing. Brit, she was a coward because there was no way that she could have had the season that she had, and you need some answers. So the whole idea that basically the reunion is basically the last stand for you to state your case of basically your storyline and things like that. So, for example, the same way as Portia may have ran away during the season about her storyline, there is a come to Jesus moment when you're at the reunion and you get the fan questions.
Yeah.
That's why I think it was better, or it would have been better for Portia just to talk about her marriage during the season, so we won't make the whole reunion about basically, okay, we gonna get the season that you robbed us of.
Right.
That's why I'm like, with Brit, it just came off as, hey, why are you not showing up to the reunion? It seemed like you overdid it. Like there was, even though I feel like Brit definitely had a terrible season in the sense of she should be one and done, I don't think it was that bad to the point to where she could skip out or had to skip out on the reunion. Like she wasn't even the main topic of a lot of the noise, especially since Kenya's not going to be there.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of that segment when it comes to Kenya and Brit was going to be talked about just a little bit, but I think the main topic is going to be Portia and Shamea and what happened outside of the show that caused their friendship to basically fall apart.
And then you heard what Brit apparently tweeted saying that the picture actually wasn't of her.
I don't believe none that woman said.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on there.
Yeah.
But you would think if Bravo did an investigation that they would have had her confirm it.
Yeah.
Or at least she would want to see it before she went off. So it's all very murky.
Well, put it like this. Bravo said they did an investigation. I do not believe that, right? Because if it's not Brit or if it is Brit, I don't even understand how this even come about. They said they did an investigation. They found out all these things that, Brit didn't have this or Kenya shouldn't have did that. Cool, right? First of all, let's go with the whole theory that it's not her. Let's just go with that lie for a second, right? If it's not you, Brit, and you never did the act that you were, quote unquote, alleged that you did on the poster, you wouldn't have had that reaction. Like if I never did anything that I was alleged on that poster, I would have been like, I don't know who Kenya posted on that thing, but that ain't me. I wouldn't have had that whole reaction of I lost my insurance license or like I lost this and I'm going through all this trauma. I'm gonna bring my mom over here so she could talk to me. I want to go on to these interviews in real time and talk about it if it wasn't you. So that's why I'm like, I really don't understand this whole idea of basically, hey, it's not me. Also, producers of Bravo and things like that, of Real Housewives of Atlanta, if you see Kenya is putting somebody on a poster and things like that, and you see that it's not Brit, I don't even understand why y'all would allow that to be shown. Listen, I think all of it is a mess.
The thing is that I don't think production would have known whether it was her or not. It would have been, they would have needed to call Brit into the office and showed her the picture and ask her if this is you. And what would you like us to do about it?
No, I don't think so, because I think the whole point of showing it on the poster is that everybody in the crowd would know that it's Brit. That's why everybody had the reaction that they had. Like the whole point of Kenya putting that
depends on the angle.
And that's why I don't even that's why I'm like, you just can't follow liars stories and things like that, because you got Brit saying that it's not her.
I mean, what good does it do her to say it's not her now?
But it's not even
why would she lie about that?
Why would she tell the truth? Like my thing is, Brit talking about it's not her whole time while it was happening in real time. Portia said a housewife gave Kenya the picture, and that actually Brit was underage in the picture.
You just gotta turn Portia down.
So that's,
you gotta mute Portia.
But my thing is, you gotta mute everybody.
Okay.
Like you gotta mute Brit, because Brit saying it's not her. Portia saying it's an underage her. Kenya saying, who is this? It makes no sense. It shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Yeah.
And truth be told, it didn't add or take away from the season, to be honest. That's why I'm like, you should have just kept Kenya and just got rid of Brit, or got rid of both of them.
Yeah.
To be honest. Also, last point. What is my last point? I have a last point when it comes to the whole reunion. Oh, I have a question. Yes or no? Don't give no explanation in detail. Yes or no? And I want details from y'all. Will Shamea and Portia reconcile at the reunion and be best friends again?
Yes.
Ooh, that's lapdog behavior if I ever met one. Let us know.
Don't take much.
Listen, let us know what y'all think. At the reunion, will Shamea stand on her square of saying, you know what, hey, we can't be best friends? Or will they have a come to Jesus moment where they go hug in the middle of the reunion and they are actually hugging, and then they talking about licking each other, whatever jokes they have in their friendship and things of that nature, and then they be best friends again? And dude, you know what's actually crazy? This is not an explanation.
Okay.
No. It actually,
what's going on?
It actually just came to mind.
What's up?
You know how Shamea keep bringing up the fact that she's a lap dog, or she'd rather be a lap dog than be forgettable, even though she used the word unforgettable. I went back and watched it. Comparing herself, talking about Drew, right?
Okay.
Do you know what's actually funny about Shamea being a lap dog?
What's that?
She's not actually the lap dog. Mm-hmm. She actually puts herself in that role, right? Mm-hmm. When it comes to her and Portia's the one that had the scammer. Portia's the one that stole someone's husband. Portia's the one that can't film in her house. Portia's the one that's basically the one that is, what's the word, that's bringing the value down of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Shamea's the one with the husband. Shamea's the one with the house. Shamea's the one with the money. So that's why I'm like, Shamea, you really don't have to be the lap dog. You are actually choosing to be the lap dog. The whole life that you have that is real, Portia is trying to have a replicate of that. So I don't even understand why you would even subject yourself to sit on this woman's lap and act like a dog.
Yeah.
When you're the one with the life that she was trying to have with Simon before they shipped him away. Mm-hmm. I said I didn't want to give no explanation, and I'm a liar. I'm sorry. Turn me down.
Well, now that you did, can I get mine?
Sure.
Because that wouldn't be fair.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I think that they will reconcile, because we see how they reconcile. As long as Portia looks at her and cries a little bit, then Shamea is going to feel a soft spot in her heart for Portia. I think that they're probably going to hug it out and all that type of stuff. And don't get me wrong, it would be great for them to be on a good foot in their relationship, but I want it to be truthful.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be Portia pacifying Shamea or Shamea pacifying Portia in order for them to just be able to laugh and giggle together. Yeah. Like, you guys are grown women in your 40s. You have real things that y'all have been through together, and you should be able to talk about them, get through them, and actually be there for each other as friends. And I feel like Portia just ain't got it in her. I think that she just, Portia's for Portia. And I think that she probably loves Shamea, but I don't think she knows how to actually sit down, hear something about herself, and rectify the situation. Yeah.
And truth be told, if the same Shamea comes back next season, Shamea should be one and done too. I don't need to see Shamea again.
Okay.
I don't need to see Shamea. I don't need to see Kelli. They all being in each other's lap dog. Kelly's a follower too, and we go talk about that in the upcoming episode, because whole time, even though Brit was wrong, that's supposed to be your best friend, and you ain't stand up for her. I understand that Brit was wrong, but Kelli, if that's your friend, I see how you treat your friends.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly's definitely flip-flopping, and I can see why the friendship, is crumbling, but I'm still waiting on that big thing that Shamea said, that Brit said about her daughter. So if that does eventually come out to be like a crazy statement, then Brit deserves to lose for everybody. Everybody's support. Yeah.
Anything else?
That's all I got.
I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment. We are so close to 7,000 subscribers. Help us get there. We cannot get there without y'all. We see y'all next time.
Bye.